Hi guys. So, if you've been following through my videos, I already did like 6 episodes covering the book, and with this vlog entry will be covering characters or independent characters. Okay, so characters or independent characters are considered to the type of things are your name characters like Mephiston, Belial, and etc. And the characters are the sergeants or the team leaders or unit leaders. These are also considered as characters. Moving on. So, what are the changes? Independent characters and characters rules are still intact. They move with the unit and all that good stuff from 5th edition. But they added something called precision. Precision shots and precision strikes. What this means is that every time. Okay, let's do the shots one first. So that it involves the shooting phase. When the character or independent character shoots and rolls a 6, the controlling player can choose which model in line of sight and in that target unit takes the wound. So basically it says that Belial shoots his not Belial, someone with a ranged weapon shoots at a group of Space Marines. He can say 2. He can say that the one with the power fist gets the wound if he rolls a 6. This is the same rules as the new sniper special rule, universal special rule. Also, they have this. It's called precision shot. Precision strike is also the same thing. Every time the character rolls a 6 in combat, he can choose which model would that wound be allocated to. Pretty straightforward. Moving on. Now, this is where it gets interesting. They added challenges from fantasy. If you play fantasy, you know what they are. You hate it, you love it, I don't know. But challenges are basically when 2 characters meet in close combat. For instance, a unit of Space Marines with a sergeant meets a unit of Orkoids with a knob. I think that is what they call them. When they meet, the controlling player of a charge, let's just say for this example, the Space Marines, can issue a challenge from his sergeant to his to the orc player's knob. What does it do is that they separate themselves from combat and fight 1-on-1. So it's like a duel. Pretty cool, right? What happens if you do not accept the challenge? Well, that character has to move back and does not fight, basically hiding. However, if the unit that you declared a challenge on has only 1 character, a challenge must be accepted. Moving on. So fighting a challenge, all the wound caused in the challenge is adding on to winning or losing the battle or the fight. Moving on. Now, what happens if you wipe out the entire squad and the challenge still goes through? It's still fighting. So for instance, Space Marine wipes out all the boys and only the knob and the sergeant are left fighting. This is something called moral support. Get boss. That's the rule they have it in here. And this basically means that for every 5 models that are just standing there doing nothing, cheering the fight on, the character in the challenge gets 1 reroll for every attack. Let me summarize that again. For every 5 models watching the fight, for instance, if only from that group of Space Marines, only 5 models are left from the fight, the sergeant gets 1 reroll for that, for every turn he fights the knob. Pretty straightforward. And if you have 1 or more characters in a unit, you can actually, after the first challenge has been accepted and it moves on to round 2 or the second turn that they fight in close combat, you can do something called glorious intervention. Sounds dramatic and epic, which is basically if you have, for instance, I'm going to use a Belial of the Dark Angels. He's an independent character, so Belial is finding a knob and Belial is losing. His definitely terminated sergeant, which is in the group, can declare a glorious intervention on his turn. What does this do is that on an initiative roll, if the test is successful, the sergeant will replace Belial in that challenge. Epic, right? Sounds epic. And that's about it. So that's the main thing that they changed for characters and independent characters. 1, you cannot single them out anymore everything goes by rune allocation. However, I have to state one thing, that the once 2 units of fighting, the characters must come up in front. It's or must try to get in front. There's no hiding in the back. That rule still is there, but I'm not sure how enforced it is in 6th as it was in 5th. But the main things are that the issue of the introduction of challenges and accepting fighting a challenge, deleting a challenge, and glorious intervention, which I actually like that. It's quite epic when you think about it. So that's about it for characters. Next video I'm probably going to upload it today. I'm going to talk about the different missions and battlefields and whatnot. There's so much. I looked through it, and there's so many changes happen to the missions and how we actually play the game. So stay tuned for that. Again, if you want to subscribe to my channel, that would be best, because these videos will be uploaded at random intervals, and I don't know how many I'm going to do per day. So just subscribe, just to keep in track with what I talk about and the updates on 6th edition. Again, thank you for watching.